Title: I left her stranded after her infidelity. About a month later, she returns in tears, claiming her love for me and recounting her regret. She describes her 3-hour walk of shame as the worst experience of her life. We're back with another subscriber email story, guys. If you want to submit your story, send it to Lessons from Life. Here, I'll put it on the screen. It's Lessons from Life. Whether it's a funny story, a success story, a story where you went through something, whatever it is, you probably have a story that someone else may have gone through, or they just went through it and they feel like they want to listen to your story. Hey, I made the right decision, or I need to make this decision because this seems like the right decision. People just need to hear that other people are going through it. It's good to know if someone else is going through something you're going through, and you can relate, and that will help you make the decisions you need to make. So feel free to submit those stories, and if you've already submitted them, please submit updates. I've been paying attention since I updated. I started updating at the beginning of December, and more stories are being included, as well as more stories being included. So please send those stories and send them to that email. But you've already read the title, so let's get to the content. Once a cheater, always a cheater, an epic tale of revenge against my ex. It's a bit lengthy, but definitely worth the read. I had been in an on-again, off-again relationship with this girl for some time. She was incredibly attractive, a solid 9 out of 10. We hit it off right away, and everything felt natural. She seemed pretty intelligent too, but boy was I mistaken. We were in that awkward phase where we weren't quite friends, but not really dating either for about 6 months. Then, one night, she drops the L word. I was cool with it and let her know I felt the same way. We dated for about a year, but then things started to get weird. I made a sweet comment on one of her Facebook pictures, and this guy jumps in, bragging about being Prince Charming and claiming I'm too slow. Red flags? Absolutely. Even though this guy sounded pretty confident, we'd been talking about stuff confidently. I confronted her, and she insisted they were just friends. According to her, they had just started talking last month. I'm not naive. I told her she needed to cut ties with him or I'd walk away. She chose the latter because he was a great guy. Fine. I'll get over it. Just another woman wasting my time. About a month later, she comes back, crying and claiming she loves me and that we're meant to be. She said the other guy was terrible to her. I knew she was lying, but just in case she was serious, I made her promise she truly loved me and that there would be no going back. Wow. Enter Matt Vanguard. Dota 2 players will get this reference. I set up a fake profile with a large collection of attractive photos from some random guy online. I had enough details and friends to make it seem believable, then added her and started chatting her up from this fake account. She swore up and down that this time was different. Meanwhile, Matt was getting her number and setting up a date. I had an alternate phone number thanks to Text Plus for free texting and calling. I was livid. It takes a heartless person to confess their love to someone they've been with for a year and a half while setting up a date with someone else they've never even met. I was determined to make her life miserable. I even made Matt sound like a bit of an idiot and a jerk. For instance, when she called him babe, Matt responded with, "Don't call me that again." Got it? I'm not your babe. She's going to school and takes the bus back and forth. Her classes run late and buses don't run forever. So, Matt was supposed to pick her up in his fancy car and take her on the most romantic date of her life, or so she thought. Matt conveniently didn't get off work until about an hour after her classes ended. She said it was fine and that she would just study until Matt arrived. Meanwhile, I asked her as myself if she wanted to hang out, and she said she had extracurricular activities and that a friend would give her a ride home. Whatever. She texted Matt, asking if he was almost there. If not, she would have to take the bus since they stop running soon. You could tell she was a bit annoyed. Matt replied apologetically, saying he had to work overtime and was leaving now. She responded with excitement about seeing him. But time dragged on and Matt was now an hour late. He was speeding to the school, apologizing profusely, saying he felt bad for being late. She was irritated and Matt was hours late. Eventually, I broke the news. Sorry, I don't go out on dates with dishonest people. Her, what? What are you talking about? This isn't Matt. Me, you and Matt know each other? Her, no me, I set you up to see if you were still the unfaithful C-word you were before, and you are. Believe it or not, she had the nerve to claim she wasn't actually going to meet up with him. Seriously? Don't talk to me anymore and I suggest you start walking. I think you missed your bus. Months later, she reached out, very apologetic, saying the whole incident had been on her mind. I told her I appreciated her apology and was willing to be friends, but I had a girlfriend. Even if I didn't, I wouldn't date her again. She said she understood, and later, when we discussed our falling out, she mentioned that her 3-hour walk of shame was the worst she'd ever felt. Good. It was the best I'd ever felt. To sum it up, lying, cheating ex-girlfriend tries to cheat on me with a fake guy and ends up making a 3-hour walk of shame instead. Salute. Here are my thoughts. I really liked this. We talk about how the best revenge is to move on. He moved on, but he added a little extra revenge. He didn't ruin her life or get her fired. He simply proved that she hadn't changed and didn't deserve him. It took a lot of effort to set up the fake account and all, but he did it and she fell for it. He proved his gut feeling was right. She was the same person she always was. I'm not mad at making her walk home for 3 hours. I'm not mad. Salute to you. I really enjoyed this story. It's savage, but it's not over the top. She didn't lose her job or face humiliation. She just had to go on a little hike. It takes a special kind of evil to set up such an elaborate scheme just to give her a little nudge. With that amount of effort, he could have made her life miserable for years. Bravo. Somebody mentioned the name Matt should have been Chad. Others said he made everyone who's been cheated on proud. It's funny how she tried to lie about not meeting him. Someone suggested showing up as Matt instead of texting. That's a good idea too. Anyway, I can't argue with the results. Great job. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll put the link to this story in the description. I really enjoyed it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments and I'll catch you next time.